The horror movie genre has a long history of using real-life locations for spooky on-screen moments. Many films use these settings to their advantage by incorporating the natural properties of these places into the storyline. The most common example is a deserted cabin in the woods, but there are numerous other examples where film crews found creepy locales and left them exactly that way. Some of these movies even went as far as to incorporate real ghosts into the plot or use local urban legends as inspiration for their story. You might have a list of your favorite scary and horror movies, but what about the movie sets where those movies were filmed? Many of these haunted movie sets hold innumerable spirits and inspire fear because of the movies filmed there. Some of the most popular horror films have been shot in locations with dark histories. These locations help set the tone for the films that are recorded there. Some movie sets have since been abandoned because they're just too creepy to film in. Let's look at some of the most haunted movie locations that will surely give you chills. The Omen is regarded as the most haunted movie set in history. Filming for The Omen began in London in 1975. So many bizarre things occurred while filming the movie that many believed the movie to be cursed. Strange incidents included accidents on and off the set. Trained dogs for the movie went wild in the dog chase scene. The stuntman was injured when the Rottweilers chewed through his protective gear and wouldn't stop attacking him when commanded by the trainer. In another incident, the trainer for the baboons in the scene where Damien and his mother were attacked was killed in a freak accident the next day after filming the scene. His death was not directly related to the movie, but many attributed it to the Omen curse. 3 people involved in the production of The Omen experienced lightning strikes of their plane on the way to the set on 3 separate occasions. If that doesn't scream cursed, I don't know what does. The first lightning strike occurred when actor Gregory Peck, who plays the protagonist of the movie Robert Thorne, was on his way to the set in October 1975. The lightning strike caused an engine fire, but the plane landed safely. A producer of The Omen, Mace Newfield, was on his way to the set a few weeks later when his plane was struck by lightning crossing the Atlantic. And lastly, screenwriter David Seltzer also experienced a non-lethal lightning strike when traveling to the set of The Omen. One of the most chilling stories involving the curse of The Omen is the car accident special effects director John Richardson was in shortly after wrapping up the film. He was driving through the Netherlands with Liz Moore on Friday, August 13, 1976, and had a head-on collision with another vehicle. Richardson survived the accident, but Moore was decapitated by a tire. How does this relate to The Omen, you might ask? Just months before, Richardson designed a decapitation scene in The Omen. Another chilling detail of the accident is that Richardson also saw a road sign for Omen approximately 66.6 kilometers away shortly before the accident. The curse of The Omen didn't just apply to the original film. When The Omen was remade in 2006, the curse continued with director John Moore stating that almost 2 days of footage was lost because of equipment malfunction. The footage was lost when they were shooting the haircut scene to reveal the 666 birthmark on Damien's scalp. If that wasn't enough, the number 666 started showing up everywhere a crew member was rear-ended by a taxicab in Prague, and of course, the license plate number was 666. On the day they had camera malfunctions, the error code that appeared was, you guessed it, 666. The scariest thing is that the camera technician said the camera was not faulty, and the 666 error didn't exist in the camera and should have never been displayed on the camera screen. The Conjuring was inspired by the true-life investigations of Ed and Lorraine Warren. If you're not familiar with Ed and Lorraine, they were a married paranormal investigative team who looked into some of the more famous cases of supposed hauntings. All the movies in the Conjuring franchise were heavily influenced by Lorraine Warren until her death in 2019 for accuracy of the events. Unfortunately, Ed couldn't consult on the movies because he died in 2006. But nevertheless, the Perron case, on which The Conjuring was based, left so much of an impression on the investigators that it had to be retold. The actress that played Lorraine Warren, Vera Farmiga, experienced odd things surrounding working on The Conjuring. As soon as she was offered the role of Lorraine Warren in The Conjuring, mysterious claw marks began to appear, some that transcended digital barriers. Farmiga took a phone call about being in The Conjuring, but, before doing so, closed the laptop she was working on. 3 claw marks appeared on her computer screen when she opened it back up, just moments after accepting the role. In another incident, 3 claw marks appeared on her thigh while filming on set. 3 diagonal claw marks signify an attack by a demon. Was Farmiga warned before she even started on the film? Another strange occurrence to Farmiga was a disruption of her sleep. On many repeat occasions, Farmiga would find herself waking up mysteriously between the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. The significance of waking at this hour is because it's usually associated with the devil's hour or the witching hour, when supernatural activity is supposedly heightened due to the belief that ghosts, demons, witches, and the like are thought to be at their strongest. Additionally, the veil between life and death is at its thinnest. During the movie, the witch actually died during the witching hour. Farmiga's trouble with sleep continued after wrapping up the movie's filming. The Warrens kept an artifact room in the basement of their house that contained relics from cases they investigated. The artifact room was replicated for the Conjuring set, and even the replica of this room seemed to have a life of its own. Numerous crew members experienced objects moving around the room. The object that seemed to move the most was a wooden pig. The movie Ghost starring Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze isn't a horror story, but the name of the film conjured an actual ghost on the movie set. It said the ghost of child actor Heather O'Rourke haunted the movie set. O'Rourke was finishing up filming Poltergeist 3 when she unexpectedly died from a stomach infection in 1988 at the age of 12. Ghost was filmed on the same set where O'Rourke filmed scenes for Happy Days. Crew members of Ghost have claimed to have heard footsteps and the sounds of a child laughing while on set. The Insidious movie was filmed in an actual haunted hospital. Linda Vista Hospital in Los Angeles, California, has a history of hauntings, so it's no wonder a movie filmed there would have paranormal experiences. The surgical room is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little girl. The 3rd floor is home to a young woman who paces the halls, and the spirit of an orderly is said to still roam the halls of the hospital. While no ghosts were spotted by the crew of Insidious, there were a few mysterious experiences that couldn't be explained. According to an Insidious crew member, some of the crew were in the hospital's basement setting up a scene for the movie when they began to feel ill. The crew was moving old patient records from the 40s and 50s around when everyone in the room started feeling sick with a weird and heavy feeling. It was so bad that the crew had to take a break. Other mysterious incidents occurred while in the hospital while filming. Members of the crew also claimed that a call light would constantly ring from the empty floor of the building. The movie The Innkeepers was filmed in an actual haunted hotel. The Yankee Peddler Inn, located in Connecticut, is a hotspot for paranormal activity. The activity didn't stop when filming The Innkeepers began. T. West directed the film and had first-hand experiences that began on the first day of shooting. To keep things in character, the crew of The Innkeepers stayed at the Yankee Peddler while filming. The crew members, including West, would have strange, vivid dreams while staying there. West first-hand experienced doors closing by themselves, a TV turning off and on by itself, and lights burning out in his room. Sarah Paxton, who played Claire in the film, would often wake up in the middle of the night thinking someone was in the room with her. Sometimes the hotel doors would swing open and shut themselves, freaking people out. There were even times when cast members would get phone calls, and when they answered, there would be no one on the other end. One of the most perplexing incidents West experienced while filming was the room he chose as the most haunted room in the film, the honeymoon suite. He says, at the time, he only chose the honeymoon suite because it was the only room big enough to hold all the filming equipment. The choice was purely technical. After wrapping up filming, he finds out that the room he chose was actually the most haunted room in the hotel. The Poltergeist has to be arguably the most haunted and cursed movie set in history. The entire Poltergeist movie franchise has been plagued with curses from the very beginning. There's no denying the Poltergeist has cast a dark shadow on all involved, with filming from untimely deaths to ghosts appearing on set. Let's begin with the Poltergeist curse resulting in deaths that began the same year the first movie was released in 1982. Actress Dominique Young, who played the elder sister of Carol, and was strangled by her ex-boyfriend and died 5 days later. The next unfortunate death occurred in 1985, before the release of Poltergeist 2. Julian Beck played Kane in Poltergeist 2, but didn't live to see the release of the film because he passed away from stomach cancer. The death of Will Sampson, who played a ghost in Poltergeist 2, is yet another casualty of the curse. One of the most notable and unexpected deaths from the Poltergeist series was child star Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann. She was only 12 when she died of cardiac arrest and septic shock from a misdiagnosed bowel obstruction. Problems continued to plague the set even when the latest Poltergeist movie was recorded. To date, no one from the cast has died, but creepy things occurred while filming. The house the movie was recorded in was known to be haunted, and it showed. The crew had difficulties with electricity and other devices. Lights would repeatedly blow out on set that worked just fine anywhere else. The drones used for aerial photography wouldn't pick up on the correct GPS signal anywhere near the house. The drones would have to be moved at least 10 feet from the intended location to launch. That's our list of the most haunted movie sets. Let us know your favorite horror movie of all time in the comment section. Be sure to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe for more future content. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one.